Every time Shadur Sanders steps into the spotlight, it feels like the world is waiting to critique him. No matter what he does, the reaction is often loud, emotional, and polarized. Whether it's something as simple as a statement about his confidence or as minor as a sideline gesture, it always becomes a headline. And that's exactly what Cam Newton is calling out. Newton, who once criticized Shedeur himself, is now taking a stand in his defense, arguing that the level of scrutiny Sanders faces is far beyond normal. According to Cam, what's happening here is unprecedented. Never before in NFL history has a fifth-round, third-string quarterback received this much attention, this much love, and this much criticism at the same time. And that, he says, is exactly why the league seems to be trying to control the narrative around him. Cam Newton didn't mince words. He said it outright. When Shadur does anything, it's always critique. He believes that the NFL establishment, from executives to media personalities, is uncomfortable with the fan power surrounding Sanders. The outpouring of support from fans across the country, people who see Shedeur as more than just a player but a symbol of a new generation, is something the league isn't used to dealing with. And in Cam's eyes, that's the real reason behind the constant criticism. He believes that the NFL isn't ready for a player like Shadur Sanders, someone who doesn't fit their mold, who isn't afraid to be confident, and who carries the legacy of Deion Sanders while creating his own. But it's not just Cam Newton who's noticed this. Fans have been calling out the same double standard for months. Take Dillon Gabriel, for example. During the preseason, Gabriel took what was clearly a jab at Shedeur, saying there are entertainers and there are competitors, implying that Sanders was more of a showman than a serious player. The comment was bold, dismissive, and personal, but the backlash never came. In fact, analysts quickly came to Gabriel's defense. Colin Cowherd even went as far as to say Gabriel wasn't talking about Shedeur at all, but rather taking a shot at the media. The spin was immediate, and the story disappeared as fast as it started. Now compare that to Shedeur. When he confidently stated that he believes he's better than some quarterbacks currently playing in the NFL, the reaction was explosive. Sports talk shows went into overdrive. Analysts accused him of arrogance, of disrespecting veterans, of not earning the right to talk like that. But all he really did was express belief in himself, something that's practically expected of a quarterback. It's that kind of double standard that fuels Cam Newton's frustration. Why is it okay for others to criticize Shedeur, but not okay for Shedeur to express confidence in his own ability? Rex Ryan's comments only added to the chaos. In a recent interview, Ryan went straight at Shedeur, claiming he hasn't worked hard enough to deserve a starting position. His tone wasn't analytical, it was combative. He wasn't offering constructive advice. He was tearing the young quarterback down. It was personal, aggressive, and unnecessary. And as Cam Newton pointed out, this is exactly what's wrong with how the media treats Shedeur. The scrutiny isn't about football anymore. It's about perception, power, and control. It's about punishing a young man for refusing to fit the narrative they've built for him. Cam believes the league and the media are trying to suppress the wave of support surrounding Shedeur. He's not saying this as a conspiracy theory. He's saying it as someone who's been there. Newton himself knows what it's like to be misunderstood, to have confidence mistaken for arrogance, to have your identity weaponized against you. And he sees history repeating itself. It's not even about football anymore, Cam explained. It's about the system trying to knock down a player who doesn't fit their image. There's also the undeniable factor of Deion Sanders. Being the son of one of the most iconic and outspoken figures in sports history is both a blessing and a burden. Shedeur carries the charisma, confidence, and swagger of his father, but that's also what makes people uncomfortable. Deion has always been unapologetically himself, and now Shedeur is following that path. But in a league that still expects young quarterbacks to be quiet, humble, and deferential, that confidence is often misread as entitlement. And when you add in the fact that Shedeur plays the most visible position in football, it becomes a recipe for constant criticism. Even when Shedeur remains calm and patient, the narrative somehow twists against him. In one of his recent interviews, when asked about his place in the depth chart, Shedeur simply said, "I'm just enjoying myself, learning, doing everything I have to do, and ready for my opportunity." It was a composed, professional response. But instead of praising him for maturity, critics claimed he was too relaxed and not serious enough. It's a lose-lose situation where every move he makes is dissected, often unfairly. Cam Newton's change of heart speaks volumes. He was one of the first to criticize Shadur after the draft, questioning his readiness and leadership. But now, after watching how the media and the league have treated him, Cam admits he was wrong. He sees that Shedeur isn't just being evaluated as a quarterback, he's being judged as a symbol. And in Cam's view, the NFL doesn't want symbols they can't control. It's a harsh reality. When a young player captures too much attention too fast, the system finds ways to humble him. There's also an element of envy in the mix. Despite being a third-string, fifth-round pick, Shadur Sanders commands more fan engagement than many starters. His jersey sales, social media following, and highlight clips dominate online spaces. For some in the league, that kind of popularity from a rookie feels threatening. It challenges the hierarchy of the NFL, where rookies are expected to earn attention through quiet consistency, not charisma. But Shadeur's success proves that fans aren't just drawn to statistics, they're drawn to authenticity. The reality is that Shadur Sanders is a young man navigating immense pressure. Every word he says, every gesture he makes, every tweet he posts becomes national news. The same confidence that makes him magnetic to fans makes him a target to critics. Yet despite it all, he remains composed, focused, and ready for his chance. His patience, maturity, and resilience show that he's not letting the noise control him. He's learning to control the narrative himself. Cam Newton put it best when he said Shedeur is being mistreated because of who he is and how his father raised him. The NFL should be celebrating that kind of confidence, not punishing it, but instead, it feels like they're trying to fit him into a box that he was never meant to fit in. What we're witnessing is bigger than football. It's about legacy, image, and the power struggle between individuality and conformity. In the end, Shadur Sanders is going to keep pushing forward. The criticism will keep coming, the analysts will keep talking, and the media will keep twisting. But no amount of negativity can change what's already clear. He has the heart, skill, and mindset to be great. The real question now is whether the league will let him prove it. The double standard surrounding Shedeur is impossible to ignore. Dylan Gabriel can take shots without consequences, analysts can question his worth, and yet Shedeur can't even express belief in himself without being vilified. But as Cam Newton pointed out, the real story isn't about the hate, it's about the power of the people who love him. The fans, so now it's our turn. As fans, it's on us to keep supporting Shadur Sanders, to keep his name alive in the conversation, and to make sure the media doesn't control the narrative. The louder we are, the harder it becomes for them to silence him. This is more than just football. It's about fairness, respect, and giving a young man the opportunity he's earned. What do you think? Is Shadur Sanders being unfairly targeted by the media and the NFL? Do you believe the criticism is justified, or is it just part of a system trying to hold him back? Drop your thoughts below, share this video, and let's make sure Shadur's story is heard loud and clear. The more we talk about it, the harder it becomes for them to ignore the truth.